Welcome to the Belmore Sports Ground for this round 5 Winfield Cup clash between Canterbury-Bankstown and Cronulla-Sutherland.
And the Bulldog mascot leads out the Canterbury-Bankstown side onto the Belmore Sports Ground. They will be coming behind that entourage of photographers. Here they come, Terry Lamb leading them on in front of their home crowd on a grey old Sydney day. Alchin, Robinson, Barrett and Corcoran. Dean is on the wing. Lamb captaining the side. Moore is the halfback, and the forwards Langmack, Smith, Dunn, Mitch Newton comes into the front row. Thomas and Gillespie. So the fans have certainly turned out despite the weather. This should be a terrific game of football.
The two form teams and Cronulla 4 matches gone, and they are unbeaten. Docking, Wilson, Eddinghausen, McGaw, Davidson, Speechley and Spina the halves. The forwards of Hatch, who's the skipper, Miller, Stain, Diamond, Porter and Massey. The man in charge, Eddie Ward, another who has been in form. The lights are on here at the Belmore Sports Ground. With all this cloud cover. Down it comes for Canterbury and their first touch through Langmack. Straight into McGaw. Smith. Both these teams at times look alike on camera, of course, because of the colours of these two clubs. Gillespie. The breeze is at the back of Cronulla. Farah didn't quite meet that ball the way he wanted to. Porter and Canterbury inside the 5 metres from the kick. There shouldn't be any argument about that one. The crowd awaits this early kick. Will certainly have the distance. Does it have the accuracy? You bet it does. Great kick early from Wilson. The Sharks grab the lead 2-0. Shark attack, it says they've got an early goal. Along the ground for Docking. Diamond back to support him. The big forward taken by Darren Smith. Bill Anderson, interesting call from Canterbury, winning the toss, running into the breeze.
Graham, the reports are that this wind's going to pick up later. It's fairly strong down in the Wollongong area, which is down south from Sydney at the moment. They must believe that it is going to get stronger and it'll be to their advantage in the second stanza.
We've had some heavy showers prior to the kickoff. Cronulla get a penalty here. Bill, just how heavy is the ground?
Well, it's not too bad, Graham. The grass is quite long, and we can see here the penalty being given to Cronulla for the player being held down on the play of the ball. The grass is quite long, and I think that's in Canterbury's favour. I think it'll somewhat dull the pace of this Cronulla backline.
Eddinghausen is one man who'll be looking to get out wide. Hatch away for Staines. Straight into the Canterbury pack.
He's one of the unsung heroes, really, of this Cronulla surge this year. He's a very powerful player, and he really doesn't know any other way other than going straight ahead.
That's the man, Dan Staines. Massey. Probably the smallest of this Cronulla pack. Spina, Speechley, McGaw. Decided to go back infield. They've linked up with Hatch. He ducked under one tackle. 32 out, he plays it and goes ahead. Eddie Ward is going to say that he didn't play the ball correctly.
Well, he played it with his foot and rolled it forward. He's entitled to do that. I can't quite see what the referee pulled him up for there, because there was nobody standing in front of him.
Barra looks for touch, finds it, fractionally into the Cronulla territory.
Almost terminated a spectator, I think.
Newton. Dunn. Been in great form for Canterbury. The Sharks drive him backwards. Alshan up from fullback. Goes blindside. Now, Eddie Ward has got Paul Dunn. This will be for interfering with a tackler.
we'll see the action here. Elchin comes away on the blind side. Now, if we can pick Dunn up, well, I think it happened just before. He did interfere. Minutely, it must be said. But I think he'd seen him having a little bit of a punch in that last attempt to carry the ball forward. He was selected by about 3 Cronulla players and had a little bit of a punch out.
So the Sharks now inside the Canterbury half. They really have provided plenty of entertainment in the 4 matches they've played in the Winfield Cup so far. They've averaging just a tick over 25 per match, 25 points per match. What can they do now? I notice Gavin Miller seemed to be hobbling, but he's okay as he got that ball away from Magura. Now still working the blind side. Back they come with Staines.
Good serves too, very powerful up the blind side there.
15 metres away from the line now, the Sharks, with Miller again directing traffic through Spina. 5 tackles used up by the Cronulla side. Eddinghausen's going to bomb. Straight up it goes. And taken well. It's Langmack.
Yes, Langmack took this very well, but I was following Eddinghausen, the man that had kicked it, with my eye, and he had a real thoughty job getting through the defence there. They shouldered him and pushed him out of the way. He couldn't get through. Yeah, let's have a look at the low-grade scores in these matches. Now, there was a massive win to the Cronulla side, 44 to Canterbury 18 in the under-21s, and a very tight game, quite entertaining in reserve grade. Cronulla 12, Canterbury 8.
So a couple of smart moves from the dummy half area, and the penalty has enabled Canterbury to take play back inside the Cronulla half. More with the tap from Elchin, putting it away to the youngster Mitch Newton. There's Elchin again, on for Dunn. Elchin again heavily involved, this time for Lamb. And Elchin again from dummy half. Been in all the play so far. Now here's Thomas. A long cutout pass for Dean. Got away from one, Dean. The winger is flying. He's only 10 metres away from the line. Back in field. Smart run from the winger. 5 tackles gone for Canterbury. And they're desperately trying to do something, but that'll be a turnover. So the Sharks with Porter.
Paul Dunn will be the man called out again here for this tackle on Porter. There's a swinging arm in there from Dunn.
Yes, he's been aggravated a bit so far in this game, Paul Dunn.
Yes, well, there's Dunn, and there's the swinging arm. It was intended as a punch. Perhaps it didn't land, but the intent was there. And Dunn, as many of us know, is getting the eye of the referee on that occasion.
So Eddinghausen will look for touch. The Sharks have it 2-0 at the moment. That's a particularly good kick from Eddinghausen. He's brought play up to just a few metres from the halfway mark.
Particularly impressed with the run of Dean there. It was a splendid wing three-quarter run. Beat about 4 men.
Now Staines will play it on the halfway mark. Spina. Back for Porter. Switch of play from Miller. Out for Spina. Penalties have gone to the Sharks 4-2 at the moment. Now Speechley sends Elchin across field, but the kick is too good.
Yes, a lovely left footer down there. It's taken play into it about 5 metres from the corner flag.
Running that close to the ruck. Thomas. Ball away for Lamb. Equally good pass from Lamb to Corcoran. Great tackle from Staines. The front rower getting across in cover defence. Now Farah. 3 defenders have him. Again, they didn't let him play it as quickly as Eddie Ward wanted them to. This will give Canterbury a chance to even up the scoreline through Lamb. Just over 50% for Lamb. This year, 9 from 16. He struck it low and hard and away. No goal. The score remains 2-0 in favour of Cronulla.
Ettinghausen back for the restart from the 22. Robinson's back on his own corner and he's knocked it on. Knocked back. Oh, small that ball went forward. He got away with it.
I think so did Alton. He had a look at the referee.
Well, not going the Bulldogs' way on that particular occasion. That's a good tackle.
Dan Staines again.
Staines, yeah, goodness me, that was a big hit.
There he goes again, right round the beach.
Now they've lost the football. Now the Sharks with it, with Porter. About 25 metres away. Hatch. Now it's with Miller. Inside the corner. Some pressure now for Canterbury. Back with Porter. Hatch moves into dummy half. To Spina, and now Speechley. The little kick ahead for Docking, who's been taken right out of the play. Referee has seen a penalty.
Yes, well, this was a patent bit of gamesmanship. You can see that, just absolutely deliberate. Were it later in the game, I think he'd probably be given 5 or 10 minutes in the sin bin, but this early, I'm not so sure.
Well, both touch judges with a report. Langmack is the offender. And Eddie Ward telling him what's expected. And the penalty has already been awarded. Has been given. They're going to have a shot for goal. Look at those umbrellas still up. The rain has stopped or eased considerably at the minute. Now Wilson, the penalty shot. This one's wide. Can't make any difference to the score. It's still Cronulla 2 and Canterbury 0. So Farah brings it back to the quarter line for the restart. Shot by Docking, giving it away to Wilson. 8 metres from halfway now, the Sharks. Ireland. Offloaded, but they offloaded to a Canterbury player. Joey Thomas was there to pick it up.
He just emerged like a mushroom as the precise moment the pass was on. He emerged off the ground.
Newton will play it. Now he's done. Passes back for Alchin. More in a dummy half. This is Lamb. Now Langmack. Speechley again around the ankles.
It's deadly.
Sure is. Scratching dead. Done. One-hander back for Moore, trying to hurdle the fallen players. Well, the Sharks have held possession in the opponent's half for 21 tackles, just 11 for the Bulldogs. Now Davidson and Docking are back there for it. It's anybody's football.
He's offside.
Had to be offside. Spina is the player.
Yes, the ball here, you'll see, ricochets off a Cronulla player, mainly back, and Spina standing away on the wrong side of him collected the football, so the referee had no hope of avoiding a penalty there.
Now Paul Langmack receives some attention from the Canterbury trainer. Lamb from right next to the posts. No mistake about it. The match is all locked up. 2-2 Canterbury and Cronulla.
Plus the trainer Larry Britton are having a good look at him now to decide whether he can continue.
Problems for Paul Langmack. Man in line for representative selection this year. Langmack rejoins the fray. Very little give and take, Bill, in this one.
Graham, it's a game that hasn't really got started, you know. There have been a lot of penalties and a lot of stop-start, but it's the little men that are doing the damage for Canterbury. It's Jason Alchin, Kevin Moore in there at dummy half, making good yardage, and then the Andrew Farah kicking game. It's a nip-and-tuck struggle. There's going to be nothing in this one at full time.
Docking. A wall of defenders in front of him. Terry Lamb takes him low.
Yeah, splendid tackle that. Copybook.
Davidson. He tries his arm at coming out of dummy half. Canterbury have made 4 errors inside their own territory. Just the one by the Sharks. Yet another penalty. The players laying down on the man, trying to get up to play it. Eddinghausen. Might give us some sort of gauge on this breeze. He doesn't try to gain too much territory. Miller uses up Davidson. Straight into Newton. Massey takes it infield. They can set themselves either side here. They look as though they might be coming back this way to a blind. They do through Spina, linking up with Diamond. The penalties are 6-all. Porter running strongly till he came to a dead end when he met Andrew Farah. Diamond, head down. Last tackle now. Speechley for Miller. They're running the football. Magua alive. Back for Eddinghausen, was it? No, he was caught with it on the last. It'll be a handover for Canterbury now.
Swarming depends on Corcoran. Now Moore, a little scamper from dummy half. Both sides have been in scoring positions, but they haven't been able to go on with it. Langmack seems to have recovered from that knee problem he had earlier. Here's Thomas. Come back for Dunn. Over the halfway mark, Dunn. Lamb and Speechley are into it, and Lamb has just flattened Speechley.
I think you will see that he took a swinging arm from Speechley in the first instance. It'll be interesting here.
Here it is. Now there's Dunn. Now there's Speechley. He grabs hold of Lamb, and Lamb goes bang. It was more of an open-handed punch than anything else. It wasn't really a punch at all now that I come to look at it. That was.
Well, Eddie Ward now talking to both players.
Again, it relies upon the strength, Ian, of the report from the touch judge.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to go. It's going to be a penalty to Canterbury.
You know, whenever you see a referee talking as much as he does to both players, you can pretty well be assured that no one's going to go on that instant. What's the story, Bill? Speechley's off.
Speechley's coming off with a head down. I can't believe the way that penalty went.
Yeah. I think there'll be a few would agree with you. Nevertheless, it's gone Canterbury's way.
Well, I can believe the way the penalty went, but I still felt Lamb might have been more harshly dealt with.
Certainly has brought this game to life. Here's Alchin getting it on to Thomas. The ball has gone to ground. Lamb went without it. Cronulla come back up with possession.
Yeah, Thomas had a cutout pass. He tends to throw the cutout pass, and Lamb interposed himself between he and the man that it was intended for. That's why that movement broke down.
Now Hatch from dummy half with a little scamper down the blind side. Wilson takes it up. Now Diamond. Held by Dunn. Taken by Robinson. You saw the replacement player kicking the football. Bill, who's that?
Chris Quinn in 20.
Okay, certainly some fire in this game now after that little flare-up. Touch judge is in.
Well, Robinson was the player carrying the football there. He'd made the dart back in field and retrieved the football. Then the defence came swarming in. There's a heck of a lot of the Cronulla players have obviously taken exception to the incident with Lamb and Speechley. And I must say the buzz around this ground has still not subsided.
So referee Ward has had a fair bit of listening to do here. Now he has another judgment to make.
Well, there's Robinson, who'd come in from the wing to to gather the football. Now Lamb's there, and he's the one that was one of the ones spoken to. Well, he's nearly pulling the jumper out. Robinson's doing a little bit of lying down and lashing his feet out. And that's always something that the referees don't want to see, because players can lose all sorts of bits and pieces and have eyes put out with the lashing around of boots with sprigs on. The penalty's gone to Cronulla.
Wilson will have another shot for goal. He's a 50% record today. Struck the first one sweetly. So the second. And this one is about 35 metres out. So here's Wilson. And he's pushed this out to the right. Taken by Alchin. And he's grounded about 5 metres from the line. 2-all is the score here at the Belmore Sports Ground as Lamb runs into some treatment from Miller. Penalty has gone to Canterbury. Certainly Miller is getting stuck right into Terry Lamb.
I feel that Miller's lost a little bit of control of himself at the moment. I don't believe that there's any requirement for him to go for the tough guy act. He's the smart man of the Cronulla side. He's the mover, the guy that can put on a pass that'll turn a match. I don't believe he needs to get involved in that sort of stuff.
Well, there's little doubt that incident earlier with Lamb and Speechley has incensed the Cronulla side.
Well, they keep losing ground position, don't they? They work themselves into a good position, and then they lose it through an indiscretion. I've had no occasion yet in this game, and I hope I'm not being hard on this young man. I've had no reason to expect that Mitch Newton, at this stage of his career, is a first-grade footballer.
We saw Gillespie go without the football. The word from the dressing room is that Michael Speechley has had something like 10 stitches inserted into that gash around his eye. It's a fair cut, isn't it?
6 handling errors against Canterbury. Most of those have been involved with Joe Thomas, players just not reading what he was going to do with some of his passes. McGaw charging onto this ball. Plenty of feeling between both these teams now. Another penalty. Dunn, the shake of the head, the replay will tell.
Well, there it was. He did lose the football free and clear himself. He wasn't assisted by a player, but he was mauled by the players.
Cronulla, 6 more tackles.
I think Cronulla are playing. Billy Ando, can you confirm or deny this comment? I think Cronulla are playing into Canterbury's hands with this hard stuff.
Well, the conditions make it a little bit difficult, Rex, for them to get the ball wide. That's where they'd like to, and where they've got an obvious advantage over Canterbury. But I think they've been somewhat conned, and I know that's what you're alluding to.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's been a pretty fierce struggle, and now Canterbury are trying to out-tough Canterbury. They won't win it that way, mate.
Back it comes infield for Wilson. This is the closest they've got the Sharks. Spina, Staines, their best player in this first half.
Yes, no argument about that one. He's a fine competitor today.
Spina looking inside and out on the last tackle for Cronulla. Healy, the kick in goal area. Canterbury just tidy up in time. Thomas got there, got to force the ball.
It's a hard kick. It ricocheted. Now look how late they come for it. There he was, Thomas, just coming in from the right.
More possession. Big drop kick into the breeze. Sits up nicely for Docking. The crossfield, straight into Lamb. The penalties are all even. Hatch taken by Smith there. Diamond. Gillespie. Some big defence from him in the first half. Porter, switch of play. Miller up the middle. He's got support. Where is it? Porter. 10 metres away, the Sharks. Spina, they go to their backs. Healy. Last tackle. They've hung on again, Canterbury. Eddinghausen, midfield bomb. Everybody on side. Who wants it? Off Thomas. 6 more tackles. Massey. They're going to have to do it all again, Canterbury. This is the 18th or 18 tackles coming up now at the end of this 6 that Canterbury will have to have hung on for. loses his headgear as Docking goes from dummy half. Trying to get to his feet extra quick. Blindside Miller. Short ball up for Wilson. He unloaded too. It's gone out over touch, and Canterbury have got out of it again.
Yes, he tried to get the pass away to Diamond back there. There's Wilson. But you can see the ball went over the sideline, as did Diamond. So that's the scrum now with the Canterbury feed.
They'll be digging nice and deep, Canterbury. Looking for some possession here. They'll get it. And one would think some running from this dummy half position again. Greg Dean comes off his wing. Alston. There's the good running from dummy half that we've been talking about. They turn it around very quickly. Now they've got the Sharks backpedaling. Moore, likewise, up the middle. The advantage is quick play the balls. Farah, the kick. Docking was up shallow. It's over his head. And Canterbury have done well to go from one end of the field to the other. As Docking is brought down inside his own 22.
Blindside again goes Wilson. Now about 8 or 9 metres. Diamond. Look at that possession held. That statistic in the opponent's half. Just 18 for the Bulldogs and 48 for Cronulla. Now here's Miller. Good tackle from Gillespie.
Yes, he's been tackling monumentally.
Speechley back on the sideline, ready to resume after having something like 10 stitches in that cut. Passes down for Alchin. Dean.
Gavin Miller got a headbutt then, accidental from one of his teammates.
Look at nasty mode. Now Robinson. Kevin's still trying to clear his head. And there's the eye that required the work from Speechley. Jesus, that looks nasty. 15 stitches we've been told from the dressing room now for Michael Speechley. And he's on to resume his place, and I reckon these fellas are tough. So Quinn comes from the field to enable Speechley to take his place. This has gone with the scrum feed. Langmack's been able to pick it up at the scrum base. Dunn. Thrown to the ground by Diamond. Now Alchin, who's been heavily involved for Canterbury. Here's again. Getting it on for Lamb. Now Farah. Trapped by Docking.
Could have gone with Arsenal after that.
Fancy footwork. 32 metres away from the Cronulla line as Speechley gets back into the fray.
Tackled by Lamb.
Davidson. Right, Joe Thomas and Davidson. A tooth rattler. Now Porter, who's discarded the headgear. Spina, Miller, the run around with Spina. Got it on for Eddinghausen. ET makes some ground. Got it away from McGaw. Eddinghausen following him up. That's a great try. That is a superb try to Andrew Eddinghausen, who started it and finished it.
Magnificent ball. Eddinghausen is in. He's really made the difference in this one particular move. Just superb. See it and enjoy every bit of it. Hatch, Spina, Miller, Spina again, the pivot, then to Eddinghausen, the explosive pace up the sideline, the timing of the pass to McGaw, might have been fractionally forward, but I'm not going to argue about it. And there he evades the tackle and comes round again. That's a beautiful try. The idea of giving the pass selectively, as he did here, he measured the pass beautifully. The referee was directly in line, as you saw. We're slightly off-centre, so I couldn't see it, but then the ability from this man to be able to come back on the loop, as it were, and get the pass back again is just beautiful. And the way he positively grounds the football, beautiful stuff.
great understanding between Eddinghausen and McGaw. And that's the 4th try for ET this year. Now here's Alan Wilson. No problems for him. He adds the extras. So the Cronulla side go to a lead of 8 points to 2 over Canterbury.
That tells its own story, doesn't it? 51 tackles in the opposition half for Cronulla. That last try before the break, all important. Eddie Ward says we've got 40 minutes to go. Docking tried to trap that one off the side of his boot down for Wilson. He's taken about 7 metres out from his own line. Bill, we've got to change.
Michael Speechley's had to come from the field. He can't see out of that eye. His eyes closed totally. And in fact, it's Mitch Healy who'll be wearing number 40 replacing him.
Hatch away for Staines. Strong bumping run from him. No one really to pass to. That all overrun Hatch on that occasion. Massey. Last tackle. Back for Healy. Charge down. Canterbury. Chance here. Lamb. Nearly all the Cronulla team had moved upfield for the kick. They have to race back. Nobody outside Kevin Moore. Done. So often you see a team finish the first half strongly, only to see the others bounce back almost immediately at the start of the second. Will it happen here? Langmack, that pass was sitting up there for no one. Not a good ball at all. Spina. So Canterbury come off the boil. Davidson. Standing despite the attention of 2 tacklers. Diamond. Massey. He's keeping the play in tight. Now it's the last. Eddinghausen. Charge down from Kevin Moore. Cronulla feed. Those charge downs do suggest that the Sharks haven't got their kicking game in order, especially into the breeze. They need some cover for their kickers. Healy. He got rid of Lamb. But Langmack was out of the scrum quickly. Miller. Change of direction. McGaw. Into Thomas. Docking away for Davidson. The Sharks are very bunched. Throw a blanket certainly over the entire Cronulla team. Staines. Last tackle. This time he has plenty of time. Eddinghausen, but it won't run for him. Pulls up short of the touch. Robinson. Good strong run from Robinson. Alshan for Farah, who's had little chance in attack. Langmack. Great tackle. Super tackle from Diamond.
Yeah, it's just a beauty, that one. Drove him backwards in the tackle and rattled every tooth in his head, one would think. Lamb on the ball.
For Farah. One of the rare occasions they've been able to go wide. Swinging arm in there from Porter. Alshan off Eddinghausen. That will be a Canterbury feed, one would think. Now Lamb is a long, long way from Kevin Moore. That is going to have to be an extra big pass. It was Farah. He wants Lamb around him. He was too late. Lamb for Corcoran. 8-2 the Sharks lead. Newton. Alshan. Done. Oh, standing very flat. Bring it back the blind side. Alshin, a little kick for himself. Docking's there. He just put a little bit too much into that kick. It gave Docking the time to get to the football. Wilson will be brought down on his own 22.
Now Spina found a half gap. Here's Miller. Massey. Hatchet dummy half. Found some way through. He got to the halfway mark. This is the last tackle now for the Sharks. Back for Healy. Big straight down the throat of
Robinson.
Canterbury-Bankstown winger Robinson. Yeah, he's sickened in that tackle too. Terry Lamb wants it, and they'll bring the football away and play it elsewhere. Barrett. Punch. Staines again. He's a worker. Now Moore.
Robinson's fallen over again. He's got to his feet and fallen over. He's now backing up. Trying to catch a pass there. He doesn't look well at the moment. He's definitely got some problem.
Yes, he's not well. Harry Britton trying to convince him that he should come from the field.
For the Sharks as they come back to the quarter line with the dropout.
Eddinghausen. Things are down for Corcoran. Well, Canterbury certainly have maintained possession in the opponent's half much more in the second half. Newton. Gillespie back for Thomas. One-hander for Moore. Now Langmack. Now Alchin. Bit of stuff now from Canterbury as Alchin gets towards the corner line. Held by Eddinghausen. Langmack.
Hit the referee.
And he's going to call it back.
Interesting, this will stay a Canterbury feed.
Yes, there's the replay. Hit the referee Eddie Ward fair and square in the chest. And it's still a Canterbury feed and it's 10 yards out.
A real pressure now for the Cronulla side. Gone with the feed. Here's Moore. Alchin is caught. Only 11 metres away. Moore. Now Lamb. Healy was the tackler. Moore. Newton. 10 metres away from the Cronulla line. Thomas. The little dummy and went on his own. Messi played the ball. Moore did a full circle before he selected Dunn. And across it comes from Alchin. Farah's got it back for Alchin. Looking for his winger, Robinson. Robinson crawling on his hands and knees. Did he get the football down? He has to try. It was a slow, painful way to get there on his hands and knees, but he did it.
Well, see the quick hands here. This is the part of the play that's so exciting to watch. Dunn gets a one-hander away. Farah away to Alchin. Alchin away there beautifully on the outside. There's the Farah again. Back it comes then to Alchin. Alchin, quick hands, out to Robinson. Now, this is the man that scores the try. Is he grounded and held before the line? It doesn't appear so. It appears that he's able to maintain his momentum and get himself across the line. Quick hands there, beautiful stuff. The pass will always beat the man. That was excellent work. There, that was a hard pass fired out there to Alchin too. He did very well to take that. Out to Robinson. Now here it is. Let's see it again. He's not held at that point. I think he's scored a fair and square try as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't really matter what I think because the referee's already adjudicated on it. But I don't think we'll read in the paper about that one.
missed them from a lot closer than this today. Here's Terry Lamb's conversion attempt. Well, he struck it pretty well, but it's to the side of the post, but he certainly hit it a lot better. Can't have the extras, and Cronulla hang on to a lead. It's 8-6, the Sharks lead Canterbury. Wilson with the restart for the Cronulla side. The crowd getting behind the Canterbury-Bankstown side, urging them on. Down for Alchin. Across for Smith. Look at that possession held in the opponent's half. 44 for the Canterbury side, 57 for Cronulla. This is down for Docking. And Davidson's there to help.
Once again, Terry Lamb was getting involved in back play there with Docking. Spina away for Porter. Back for Spina. He's taken well by Newton. Miller looking for support. Healy is there. So's Magore. They've got Canterbury again out wide. Magore was looking back infield. No one was there.
Great tackle by Moore.
Massey. 6 more tackles, said Eddie Ward. The Sharks shouldn't forget that this is where they got Canterbury earlier on the fringe. Diamond wrapped up. Loses it. Penalty to the Cronulla. Stolen, says Eddie Ward.
Well, we'll watch this very carefully and see whether we can see whether it was stolen. I think the way it came out is self-evident that it was pulled out of his hand. And I think Andrew Farrell might have been the man that did it.
A vital kick from Wilson. This could mean that Canterbury require another try. That's what they're going to have to produce. Wilson has stretched the lead to 10-6 now. Drives his ball. The usual return from Cronulla, Docking back to Diamond. 5-2 the scrums to Canterbury. The penalties 10-all. Docking taken beautifully by Langmack. Canterbury, no doubt, will be looking to try and trap the kickers again. Staines. Loses it. They won't have to. Canterbury trying to turn this into something. Langmack quickly for Farah to straighten up. Kevin Moore. Quickly to his feet for Darren Smith to charge onto it. Beat the tackle of Miller. Penalty. Chance for Canterbury to go for goal. They will have no other decision. Now a touch judge will be in to report Porter and Farah, who came together after he unloaded the football. Alan Wilson's in trouble with the trainer. This will be a chat with Eddie Ward. Nothing will change. Lamb will settle for the penalty. Only 1 from 4 for Terry Lamb. As quickly as I said, Wilson had a chance to give them a 4-point lead. Lamb could bring that undone. He does. Guides it beautifully. Canterbury back in there, just 2 away at 10-8.
Getting set for a thrilling conclusion to this game as Cronulla restart again, and that's been knocked on. Darren Smith committing the error.
Yes, just from the kickoff it was really unpardonable. defence anywhere near him. He'd have to concentrate a little harder than that.
So Spina gets the scrum feed on the Canterbury-Bankstown quarter. This is a great opportunity for the Sharks. They've got the penalty. The differential penalty, of course. The Canterbury backs offside from that scrum. Porter is going to restart with a tap. And head down and barges within 8 metres of the Canterbury-Bankstown line. Docking. Caught by Smith. 2 or 3 metres away. Here's Miller. Back for Diamond. Diamond showing plenty of strength and gets to within 1 metre of the line. That's how close they are. The Sharks on the rampage. Only about 8 metres away. That's dummy half to Spina. Now to Healy. Then to McGaw. McGaw's pulled down. 5 tackles used up by the Sharks as Ettinghausen runs from dummy half. Floats the football out for knockdown. It'll be a turnover. Only 10 metres away from the Canterbury line. And there's a touch judge in.
Well, this has got to go against Canterbury. No other reason for the touch judge to come in.
Well, I didn't see anything, did you?
No, I didn't see anything.
And Martin Weeks is the touch judge who's run on to report David Gillespie.
We're just having a look now to see if we can find it. No, nothing apparent there.
Well, the penalty, naturally enough, has gone to the Sharks. Still bamboozled as to why Gillespie has been penalised, but the only thing that he was involved in was a late tackle on Ettinghausen. That was a little while ago.
Well, let's have another look. There's the elbow. That's it. We've got him there.
I think I've seen about 100 of those in every game of football.
To the Sharks, and Wilson, who has 3 from 5 today. And the opportunity to send his side, that's his angle, directly, almost directly in front. Has the opportunity to send his side to a 4-point lead. And he's missed it. Can you believe that? A sitter and he's missed it.
There's no such thing as a sitter.
You're right. It's 10-8 still. The Sharks with a 2-point lead. Now, McGaw brings it back. Alan Wilson, you will remember, had an ankle problem a little while back. I wonder if that contributed to that terrible kick. Staines. Now Miller. Nice hit from Paul Dunn on Spina. Massive crash to the ground. Solid defence from Canterbury now. 5 tackles used up. Healy sends it down for Alchin. Following up his own kick brings him down. 12 handling errors to the Bulldogs, just 7 to the Sharks. As Dean is pulled down. Now Farah. Outsides have to dig deep now. Moore scampers away from dummy half. Where's the support for him? Looks for it now. Langmack is there. Floats one up. Taken by Gillespie. Gillespie's got support. This is going to be a magnificent try. Robinson's in for Canterbury. What a magnificent effort that was.
Yes, indeed, and what a magnificent effort from Gillespie there. But first, let's look at Moore. He runs beautifully right through the middle of the ruck. Gavin Miller's busy arguing with somebody back at halfway. And suddenly he looks and sees that there's a try on. There it is, out there to Langmack, and then away to Gillespie, comes back inside, gives it out to Robinson, and he's in without a hand being laid on him, really. Mitch Healy came over late. But this little scurry from Moore, the halfback, was the yardstick by which this try will be measured. Look at his little Bowie legs there. He's running beautifully. Gets it away to Langmack. Couldn't have been a better player for quick hands. Got it onto Cement. Gillespie, that's his nickname, Cement, and then away to Robinson. Healy takes him, but he's over the line at that point. A superb try, absolutely superb, and has turned this game around with not too long to go. Canterbury now lead by 12 points to 10.
Mark Robinson's second try today, and his fourth try for the year.
It's never over until the fat lady sings.
There it is. That's the angle for Terry Lamb. Well, the Sharks have had the lead pretty well all the way in this game. Heads are down now.
Well, they're giving him instructions up on the board there. All right, Terry, kick this goal.
Well, has he read the board? No, you have a look at the board. Wide. But it's the Bulldogs, 12 and Cronulla 10.
Lee Anderson, try and talk me through the last 8 or 9 minutes.
Well, Graham, I don't know from here exactly what I'd be trying to do, but I'll tell you what, if I was out there in Cronulla, you know, I wouldn't change what had got me in front for most of this match. I'd be still looking to play my back line and then very good support play. The Sharks aren't out of this one, you know. I'm sure you'll see Canterbury just try and work it from dummy half, do what they just did there, Andrews Farah's kicking game, and then chase well. I think it's just a case, mate, of both sides doing what they do best.
Well, Cronulla will have to do it from inside their 22. That's Chris Quinn, who's out there for the Sharks in 20, as Diamond works it away. They came into this match with 4 wins out of 4, Cronulla. They got out of it against Canberra last week in the last minute. And it was Alan Wilson who kicked the goal to wrap it up. He's missed one today that has given Canterbury a look in at a win. Docking. Away for Spina, who was smothered by Thomas. Canterbury has to keep them here. Kevin Moore is there to try and put pressure on the kickers. He won't as they go short. Blindside little chip from Eddinghausen. Craig Dean takes it. Incredible amount of football that can still be played in these last few minutes. 6.5 to go. Kevin Moore, the hero who made the break. For Lamb, Newton. Canterbury will look to kick before their final tackle, surely. Barra unloads for Dunn to go up the middle. He's got support from Lamb. Lamb gets it away. It goes missing. Robinson, they should score. Try to Robinson, that'll wrap it up. Oh, unbelievable. Mark Robinson was in the hat-bin before. His head is clear and he's picked up a double.
Well, it truly is a remarkable game of rugby league, isn't it? They've been behind all through the match. Andrew Farrell was able to get a pass away here, which gave Dunn a little bit of breathing space on how he took it. Evaded 2 tackles, got it away to Lamb. Lamb lane for Alchin. The ball didn't go anywhere near him, but went to the ground. Robinson then towed it into the in-goal area and scores a try. Now, there's got to be an element of luck about it, but that's the way the game goes. Beautiful stuff here. Probably Andrew Farah, standing in the tackle, made that try for the Canterbury side. He gave Dunn that little bit of breathing space. He went between 2 defenders there, got a beautiful pass away to the always present Terry Lamb. His pass was a horror. It went to Alchin, and Robinson kicked it through Docking, and is able to get to the ball just as it crosses the line and score a try. That's his 3rd for the match.
I was going to say, I should have said a trifecta. What a match for Robinson. Lamb has to make sure of it with the kick. He does that. The Sharks are in a big hole, down 18 to 10.
Now here's Darren Smith in his own quarter. See. Now the crowd is starting to dwindle as Farah sends this downfield. Docking takes it well. It runs into some very, very solid defence from Lamb and Dunn. Now Davidson, straight through the middle. Right on the halfway mark. Porter. Staines. This is Porter. Now Eddinghausen. Good chasing, good defending. I notice a change in the Canterbury side, Bill. Any problems there with Bill? Come back to him. Right on the quarter. And Canterbury content to play error-free football now. Farah. Down for Docking. Mistake from Quinn.
Yes, there it was on the replay. The pass had been given to him from dummy half by I think it was Andrew Eddinghausen. It was a little bit slack, I thought, the pass.
Now here's Lamb. Back for Moore, who's gone without it. That change I was talking to Bill about is Perry Smith, who's in the centre there for Canterbury. This has gone with the feed. Eddinghausen linking up with Davidson and the run around with E.T. Good defence though from Robinson. Looked as if he might have given E.T. a smack in the ear for his trouble.
Yes, and Eddinghausen got up and looked at the touch in surprise.
Now Spina away for Staines. Penalty to the Cronulla side. Canterbury inside the 5 metres. Eddinghausen finds touch almost on the halfway mark. Hatch with the restart for Spina. The run around with Quinn. Now there is the full-time siren sounding. So Canterbury have pulled off quite a remarkable victory here at the Belmore Sports Ground. They've trailed most of the match, but got away with it in the end with some very, very fine attacking football.